In news just in, the 7 men accused of murdering Zimbabwean national Elvis Nyathi in Diepsloot last month have been granted 3,000 rand bail each. The suspects are accused of killing Nyathi during unrest in the area. The group is facing charges of murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, robbery with aggravating circumstances, assault with intent to do grievous bodily harm, and extortion. Let's get more on this with SABC News reporter Patricia, who is standing by for us. A very good afternoon to you, Patricia. What happened in court?
Well, good afternoon, and of course to the viewers. A lot of relief from the families of the accused as they've been waiting for this moment. You'd understand that the bail application process has been going on for weeks. So we're going to try and give you just shots of some of the family members there here in the parking lot as they're trying to, of course, discuss how they're going to, of course, get the money. As you would know that the accused have been released on 3,000 rands bail each. Of course, the magistrate there, as she was giving her summary in the judgment, saying that the state did not present any exceptional circumstances that would allow for the accused to be denied bail. And she was also saying that this process is not about whether the accused are guilty or not, but this is rather to test whether the accused can be released on bail pending the actual trial. And she was saying that from what has been presented by the state, there is no evidence. And she also made it very clear that she was concerned by the new evidence that, of course, was brought to light yesterday by the defense. You would understand that the judgment was actually supposed to take place yesterday, but it had to stand down this after new evidence was submitted by the defense, and that related to the witnesses in the case, saying that they could not identify any of the accused as having been part of the mob that, of course, perpetrated the crime, part of the mob that killed Mr. Elvis Nyathi earlier in April in Diepsloot, and of course set him alight. The magistrate in this matter saying that this is very concerning. She was also saying that she's concerned that the investigating officer in the matter could not stipulate which role exactly each of the accused may have played in the crime. And she said, although this is strong evidence that would be ventilated during the actual trial, she was saying that this is important to actually prove the state's case of premeditation, and also to have the state at least prove that the men, should they be released on bail, would be a danger to society. So to take us more into the deeper detail of what transpired today, I'm now joined by NPA spokesperson Sis Pindim Dononjani. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go into the concerns that the magistrate highlighted today. Of course, that comes from the new evidence that was submitted yesterday. Just take us through that again so that we can get proper clarity.
Oh, okay. Firstly, we need to clarify that the burden of proof in this type of hearing is actually with the accused persons. They were the ones who were supposed to adduce evidence to show that exceptional circumstances exist, which is in the interest of justice, that they be released on bail. So also there's a difference between the trial itself and the bail application stage. Bail application hearings are at a balance of probability, whilst in the trial stage we'll have to prove our case beyond reasonable doubt. So therefore I'm trying to explain that at this current juncture there is no duty on us to prove our case beyond reasonable doubt, and hence then you become careful with the type of evidence that you bring before court, because firstly the hearing is to determine certain issues like securing the attendance of the accused, to determine whether or not they are a flight risk. Will they try to evade trial? Will their release on bail put into jeopardy public safety? Will it jeopardize the proper functioning of the criminal justice system? And the court then ruled that they are suitable candidates for bail, and taking into consideration that they are presumed to be innocent until proven guilty, and also that they won't there's no likelihood that they will evade trial.
What do you make of the other concern that the witnesses could not identify the accused?
Well, it does happen when identity parades are held that you'll find some of the witnesses are able to identify some of the accused or all of the accused, as in this instance, 2 of the witnesses identified some of the accused. So it does happen. It's not out of the nature of the identity parade proceedings.
Of course, the matter has been postponed to the 7th of July to allow for further investigations to continue. What other work will, of course, the state, the NPA, be looking at to obviously come back on the 7th with a stronger case?
Well, investigations are continuing. The fact that the matter was enrolled is because the evidence guided the prosecutor as such that there is a prima facie case against all accused. So as I've indicated, we are not yet at the trial stage. Once investigations are concluded, the state will start preparing for trial. So that exercise will only happen once investigations are concluded.
All right. Thank you so much. The NPA spokesperson, Sispindi Jonondwane, they're just giving us, a summary of some of the concerns and bringing us into clarity as to what exactly are the statements that the magistrate in the matter made. Of course, we want to speak to the family of the deceased, the family of the victim, Mr. Elvis Nyathi, just to find out how they feel about these latest developments. And right now I am joined by, of course, the cousin of the deceased, Mr. Ndlovu. Thank you so much for joining us as a family of Mr. Nyathi. You've been in court. What do you make of the latest developments?
Thank you so much. Yeah, what I can say is I'm very, very disappointed as the family of the deceased, and I believe that even the rest of the family, they will be very, very disappointed, because we were hoping that the judge will look at what these guys did. We know South Africa as the country that recognizes human rights. So we do not understand why people that did something that is inhuman, killing someone in that brutal way, but those people, they are just led to just be free outside. But we're just hoping that maybe they will get a sentence later.
Right. You heard what, of course, the magistrate said in this matter, saying that this is just for bail purposes. The trial is still coming, and she also said that this is not about whether somebody is guilty or not. It was to test whether they are a danger to the community that they are turning back to, that of course being Diepsloot, and whether they might compromise the case itself. She said that there is no evidence that proves such. That means that they deserve bail, but trial will ventilate the finer details later. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's so disappointing. Yeah, because the investigating officers were telling us that they are sure that they arrested the right people. So if the police say they arrested the right people, and then now we hear that there is no evidence. So we really don't understand what's going on and what's going to happen later. But since she said that the trial is still carrying on, we just believe that later they will see that they arrested the right people and they deserve to get a sentence.
All right, thank you so much. They, of course, the family of the deceased, Mr. Ndlovu here, speaking on behalf of the Nyathi family. He's the cousin of the deceased, the victim in this case, Mr. Elvis Nyathi. Now, the accused will be back in court on the 7th of July. The case has been postponed for further investigations. Of course, for their families right now, it is a matter of gathering those 3,000 rands to make sure that they sleep at home tonight. It's back to you in studio.
Patricia Visagie outside the Randburg Magistrates Court, they're giving us an update on the 7 Diepsloot men accused of murdering Elvis Nyathi. She'll give us another update a little bit later.